Effective tomorrow, August 1st, Sergeant Bryan Fahey will no longer be a member of the Connecticut State Police. What a coward. Hey, what's up, guys? Long Island Audit here, back again with another video. Please hit the like button and share this video anywhere you can so we can expose this tyrant to the world. So, breaking news, I literally just found out about an hour ago, thanks to my friend Keith, Northeast Auditor, for tipping me off to this news article. Let's get right into it. Sergeant Bryan Fahey of the Connecticut State Police has retired. The coward is running. And we will take a look and we'll talk about it here. Let's take a look here. State Police Sergeant retires following viral video showing confrontation with YouTuber, independent journalist, but I'll take what I can get. Two First Amendment auditors were arrested after a confrontation with State Police Sergeant in Groton earlier this month. First Amendment auditors are people who post videos, interacting with government employees, promoting transparency and accountability. I'll finish that for them. Now the State Police Sergeant involved has retired right here. For those of you who can't believe it, I didn't believe it when I was first told. I knew Sergeant Fahey was a coward. I didn't think he was this big of a coward to tuck tail and run away, at least attempt to run away from accountability. But we will see here that he has not run away from anything. Let's see here. At the end, it just goes back into told him to leave. A quote by me, always remain peaceful. There is a way for accountability to be had. We need to handle this in the court of law. We have to be peaceful. We can't stoop down to criminal behavior of Sergeant Bryan Fahey. I was charged with breach of the peace, voyeurism with malice, and criminal trespassing. I went there to ask a question. I went there peacefully. Many people questioned Fahey's conduct in the video. A lot of people. They got that right. Reyes says Fahey has a protective order against him. Yeah, he does. And he has 24/7 state police protection for a camera. I mean, can't make this up. At the time of the incident, Fahey was still an active member of the department. He was not on leave and had not been suspended. So we all seen his egregious actions, his criminal, tyrannical behavior by spitting in my face and mouth, brandishing a firearm, and he was never even put on administrative leave or suspended or anything. Zero. Internal Affairs did open up an investigation, but now that investigation is moot because he is no longer, effective tomorrow, August 1st, 2025, no longer a member of the Connecticut State Police Department. As of July 31st, that is today, July 31st, Fahey was set to retire on August 1st from the police force. They didn't go into any more detail here, but I just wanted to confirm this with each and every one of you. This is breaking news right now. Absolutely insane. So I want to show everybody. So why would he retire? We'll get into that in a little bit. But as you can see here, this is his. This is the Connecticut Office of the State Comptroller. In 2024, he made $212,000 and $212,580. Excuse me. State Police Sergeant, Department of Emergency Services. If we scroll down right here, this is the big question we have right here. So you had $77,000 in overtime, $88,000 in overtime, $84,000 in overtime. So the way that the pension works, the way that his police taxpayer-funded pension works, is that they're going to take these 3 years right here, his 3 highest years, and they're going to average that. I did the math. Sergeant Bryan Fahey will retire tomorrow and receive a pension from anywhere between $120,000 and $160,000. That just did the quick math. Again, this is breaking news right here. But Sergeant Fahey will receive anywhere between $120,000 and $160,000 for the rest of his life, his miserable life, taxpayer funded. Can you believe it? This man has violated my constitutional rights 3 times, assaulted me 3 times, spit in my face and my mouth, brandished a firearm, and he gets to retire and go off and set sail with $150,000 approximately dollars every single year of taxpayer funded pensions. It's absolutely disgusting. This man should have been terminated immediately from the Connecticut State Police. He should have immediately be put under suspension, investigation, not allowed to retire. Of course, his bosses told him, go ahead and retire. It's the best thing for you. So I asked a question to ChatGPT. I said, a Connecticut State Police Sergeant engaged in violated department policies, engaged in official misconduct, and committed state and federal crimes against a journalist. He has now retired. Why would he retire? And what can be done to hold him accountable to make sure he doesn't get his taxpayer-funded pension and never becomes a police officer again? So why did he retire? Number one reason, he's a coward. Number two, avoid internal discipline. Preserve pension and benefits. Limit public scrutiny. Retirement can reduce immediate media attention and political fallout, creating appearance of a quiet exit. What can be done? Criminal charges. Hopefully those are still incoming. You don't have to be a Connecticut State Police officer to be charged with crimes that you committed on camera for the world to see. State crimes, federal crimes, 18 U.S.C., deprivation of rights under color of law. We will be going to the FBI. I encourage all of you who would like to call the FBI. Tell them about this incident. Maybe if we get enough eyes on this and we get enough people calling into the FBI, they'll actually arrest this psycho, because I don't trust the corrupted state government to do any of it. This was interesting. His POSTC, post certification, Police Officer Standards and Training Council in Connecticut, can decertify an officer even after retirement if they find misconduct or criminal conduct during employment. Decertification prevents future employment as a police officer in Connecticut and often in other states through the NDIIS database. So I'm going to be looking into it. I'm going to file a formal complaint with the POSTC with evidence, video evidence, because my goal now, there's nothing I can do. He retired like a coward. He's a coward. He retired. He tucked his tail and ran away. If he did nothing wrong, why retire? Why the sudden retirement? If he did nothing wrong, if he said he was protecting his home and his family, why suddenly retire then? Don't you like being a state police officer? Don't you like working? You must like it a lot. You're making $80,000, $85,000 every single year in overtime. That's equivalent to you working 12-hour days every single day for the last 5 years. I mean, you must love being there more than you love being at home. I don't know the reason for that, but you must love being there unless you are cooking the books, and this is fraudulent overtime. And I'm being told by my sources that this is a much bigger problem than just Connecticut State Police Sergeant Bryan Fahey. This is a Connecticut State Police agency problem, that they are all getting fraudulent overtime, cooking the books at our expense, at the taxpayers' expense. I'm going to be looking into every single law enforcement officer with suspicious overtime. I'm going to be getting their punch-in, their timesheets, comparing it to surveillance footage. This is a story I am not going to give up on. I'm going to look into everything. I am not suicidal. I'm very happy. I have a beautiful family. I love each and every one of you. So if anything, God forbid, should happen to me, it wasn't me. It was the Connecticut State Police, because they're about to be exposed for the biggest fraud of all time, allegedly. It just doesn't make sense. Again, Sergeant Bryan Fahey was home at 3 o'clock on a workday. Of course, we will be filing a 14 U.S.C. 1983 civil rights lawsuit as soon as my criminal charges are dismissed. Include punitive damages, of course. Oh, the Groton Police Department, Sergeant Bryan Fahey, the Connecticut State Police. I've been talking to my lawyers nonstop. We are going to hold this coward tyrant accountable, ex-law enforcement officer. And it's going to be my mission to make sure that Sergeant Bryan Fahey never has a badge in his life. Never. Never. This is not going to be the instance where he retires and then quietly goes to work for the town of Groton Police Department. Not going to happen. Not going to happen whatsoever. Let's see here. Public pressure, we already got that down. We have over 55,000 signatures on the petition to prosecute and fire Fahey. And I will be going to the legislative meetings. I'll be going and trying to contact the governor of Connecticut, Ned Lamont. Push for state-level legislation requiring posts to automatically bar retired officers found guilty of serious misconduct, regardless of conviction. Good idea. So again, he's a coward. He ran. He is now a former state police sergeant. He was put, again, I have a lot of sources inside the police department, inside the Connecticut State Police Department. I've been told many times he was a desk sergeant because he is an unhinged individual. That is why he's a desk sergeant. That is why the day I went on July 21st, 2021, to the Connecticut State Police headquarters, all I did was want to file a complaint. I wanted to file a complaint because another state trooper, Trooper Lavoie, had unlawfully detained me without cause, without reasonable articulable suspicion of a crime. And I went to the state police headquarters to file a complaint. And that's when I met Sergeant Bryan Fahey. You see him down here. This is the day I met him. I met Sergeant Fahey. Wasn't interested in my complaint. He said, I don't file complaints at the state police headquarters. I said, okay, I'll be going. And because Sergeant Fahey's ego wouldn't allow him, he was so busy. I'm busy. You don't see all these people out here in the line? You don't see this? I am very, very busy man. I can't deal with your petty constitutional rights violation. Go to internal affairs. Okay, no problem. I'll go. And as he's turning away, he just couldn't go back inside and get back to work. And he had to turn around, confront me, assault me, break my camera, seize my camera unlawfully, grab me by my shirt. I'm not the one, poking me in my chest. That's how it all started. It all started with Sergeant Bryan Fahey being an unhinged lunatic individual, now coward. I cannot talk directly to Sergeant Fahey because Sergeant Fahey, again, is a coward and has an order of protection against me. So I can't have communication with him, third party or otherwise. So let me make it clear, I don't want anybody to contact Sergeant Bryan Fahey, and I'm not speaking to Sergeant Bryan Fahey. But what I would say is he allowed his ego to cause all of this, his unhinged lunatic ego. That's what happened here. Part of me is happy he is no longer going to be carrying a state police badge. He will no longer be in a position of power over people. There has been people out there that have reached out to me privately who have told me about egregious excessive force incidents they've had with Sergeant Fahey, and they are scared to come out public because they're scared of what Sergeant Bryan Fahey will do to them. These are Connecticut residents. I've had an individual say that Sergeant Bryan Fahey has spat in their face in college. There are so many people out there that this man has violated and now tortured. He has mentally tortured them. He has used excessive force, violated their constitutional rights. We've seen it happen 3 times with me. This is not just an isolated incident. And we all know this. You don't have to be a psychologist to know that this individual is unhinged, and it just wasn't Jean Paul Reyes who made him unhinged. I'm not the aggressor here. I didn't do anything wrong. I did nothing wrong. This individual cannot control his emotions. He is horrible at controlling his emotions. And that's why, because he has no accountability. I said it to him in the video. He faces no accountability for his actions. And even now, he will be making $150,000 of taxpayer money for the rest of his life every single year. But there is something that can be done. There is a Connecticut statute that I found. Again, this is breaking news. I'm going to break it down some more and go into the statute. But there is a Connecticut statute that his pension could be forfeited and revoked if he is convicted of a crime of official misconduct while he's engaged in his official duties. So he said, I'm a goddamn Connecticut state trooper. How dare you come and knock on my door and ask me a question and immediately leave? If he is charged for any sort of conduct that he engaged while he's a goddamn Connecticut state trooper, his pension could be revoked. But again, of course, the state's attorney, Paul Narducci in New London, and the chief state's attorney, they're not elected. Listen, if you live in Connecticut, just get out of the state of Connecticut, really. Just the whole system, from the police officers setting bond, from state's attorneys, the prosecutors not being elected, there's no recourse. There's no recourse. These people do whatever they want. Look at the ticket scandal where they wrote tens of thousands of fake tickets, the Connecticut State Police, in order to boost their numbers. No accountability for that. The governor, Ned Lamont, won't do anything about it. Corrupticate is real. It is real. They will violate your rights. I get emails from people all the time. I wish I could help every single one of you. There is so many people victims of corrupticate government. It is disgusting. I will never let this go. There will never be a day where I allow the state of corrupticate to win. I will fight at every turn. I will make sure Sergeant Bryan Fahey never becomes a police officer again in his entire life. I will try and get his pension revoked. I will hold him accountable personally and in his personal capacity, official capacity, the town of Groton in a federal lawsuit and a state lawsuit, whatever it needs to be. I will do it. He has traumatized my family. He has traumatized people who care about me. We've all seen this injustice occur in front of our very eyes, and yet they do nothing to stop it. Nothing whatsoever. And it's disgusting. And this man is going to make $150,000 a year for the rest of his life because he cooked the books on his overtime, allegedly. He cooked the books, allegedly, on his overtime, making 85. Look at this. Just look at it. Look at this. What happened? In 2018, he was making $47,000 a year, $5,000 in overtime. Then boom, 2019, $98,000 a year, $69,000 in overtime. 2020, $91,000 in overtime. A desk sergeant, ladies and gentlemen, somebody who works a 9 to 5, $84,000 a year in 2021, $93,000 a year in 2022, 2023, $88,000 a year, 2024, $77,000 a year. And already he has made in 2025, $26,000 in overtime. And this is probably not all the way up to date because remember, in his own words, more than that. When I said he made 75,000, he was right. He does make more than that. The corruption is right in front of our eyes. It is right in front of our eyes, ladies and gentlemen. We need to see it. We need to be calling the governor, calling the attorney general, the state's attorney's office, peacefully, I might add, and say, what's going on here? What is going on? It's your First Amendment right to petition your grievances to your government. If you live in Connecticut, you should be ashamed of this behavior. You know, the bootlickers out there, oh, you knocked on his door. So what? Does that excuse him threatening me with a firearm? Does that excuse him spitting in my face and my mouth, possibly giving me HIV, where I can't even get tested for 6 months? It won't even show up in a test. Imagine what's that doing to me and my family, my personal life. This man is unhinged. What if I spat in his face? What would the bootlickers think then? You sheep. Stop putting these law enforcement officers on a pedestal. Stop putting the government in general on a pedestal. These people do not serve us. They're supposed to, but they serve their own interests. That's what they do. But yet we have all these people, whether you're left or right, you're worshiping your government. Why? No, they're supposed to serve you. We're on the pedestal. We're supposed to be looking down at them, making sure that they are serving us. If I was a public servant, I would be humbled and serve the people's interest, not corporate interest, not the interest of the government. I would promote transparency and accountability. I would serve with pride and dignity and morals. I can't believe what we're seeing across this country. Corruption over and over again by unhinged individuals like Sergeant Bryan Fahey. As of July 31st, Fahey was set to retire. On August 1st, on July 31st, Fahey was set to retire on August 1st. One day notice of retirement. Hey guys, I'm retiring tomorrow. But yet there's still people emailing me defending Sergeant Fahey. If he did nothing wrong, why would he retire? Why is he leaving? Why did he give 1 day's notice? Why is he being a coward? If I did nothing wrong, you better believe I'm not letting anybody force me into retirement. I would stand straight, hold my head up high, and know I did nothing wrong. Just like I'm doing now. I was arrested on felony voyeurism, criminal trespassing, and breach of the peace. Myself and my cameraman. I'm not, oh, guys, the channel's over now. Charged with a felony and 2 misdemeanors. Channel's over. I'm retiring. Time to shut it all down, right? Shut it all down. No more camera, no more anything. Done. No. I want my day in court. I want it to go to trial. I want this psycho, unhinged coward to testify at trial in front of a jury. I would love nothing more. Everything he says can and will be used against him in a court of law. That's how that works. In a federal court, a civil federal court. where I will be suing him. And I'm not going to take any little BS, go away money. No. This is not about money. This is not about money. This is about vindication. This is about retribution. I was violated my constitutional rights, my God-given rights as a man. Not only that, my family spitting in my face, the disrespect this man committed against me 3 separate times, and he's never been held accountable. And now he runs away with his tail tucked between his legs. I've seen videos of this man using excessive force against other people. I've seen it. He's always so tough guy. The tough guy who doesn't want to leave his house without a gun. The tough guy who says, come talk to me like that. Come talk to me like that to my face. Big tough guy Fahey beating his chest. Big tough guy running away like a scared little bitch. And I don't really use profanities on this channel, but guess what? For Sergeant Fahey, I'll make the exception because he is a scared little bitch. I have never held so much hatred for someone as I do Fahey. He spit in my face and in my mouth, and I will never let that go. But I'm not an unhinged criminal like him. I am not the unhinged criminal here. I am going to hold him accountable in a court of law. I'm not going to go and spit in his face as much as he deserves it. I'm not going to go and snatch his property from him and grab him up and tell him I'm not the one. I'm not the one. You make the biggest, what did he say in the video? You made the biggest mistake of your life. This is the biggest mistake you ever made. That's what he said. The biggest mistake you ever made. And what did I tell him? No. This is the biggest mistake you ever made. And look, State Police Sergeant retires like a coward, tail tucked between his legs, to avoid accountability, to keep his 6-figure, $150,000 a year pension for the rest of his life. What's next? Is he going to move out of the state of Corrupticate, go down to the police state of Florida and go get a job working at the sheriff's department, violate more people's rights, assault people some more, be the deranged, unhinged lunatic that he is? And even his family. Again, I don't like to mention people's families, but they brought themselves into it. They are harassing protesters, peaceful protesters at the police department. They are blocking traffic, harassing, saying egregious, nasty things. His wife, who I found out, I have a private investigator looking into everybody involved. And this is how I'm finding out everything. His past excessive force. Stay tuned to the channel. It's coming. He has way more cases of excessive force, spitting in people's faces. This man it's not just me. And I was told by my private investigator that his wife works for a school and she doesn't even have a teaching license or a degree. She's like she has like a hairdressing degree. And I mean, it's just ridiculous. And she's out there flipping the bird off to protesters, just like her unhinged husband. They're all part of the same unhinged tree. All of them. They hate accountability. If I was a member of this psycho's family, I'd be ashamed of him. I'd be like, what are you doing? Even if they hate me, like, what are you doing? Why are you acting this way? For a man that asked you a question, for a man that tried to file a complaint, for a man that tried to do a FOIA request, you want to put your hands on him, violate his constitutional rights, assault him, spit in his face, brandish a firearm. Shame on the whole entire state of Connecticut. The New London District Attorney's Office, State's Attorney's Office, Paul Narducci, who is allegedly friends with Brian Fahey, the police chief of Groton, who worked with Sergeant Brian Fahey for 22 years in the Connecticut State Police. Corrupticate, ladies and gentlemen, corrupticate. And I love, you know what I love about the bootlickers and the sheep, and they worship and they lick the boot of power, of what they perceive as power, because they have a shiny little badge on and they walk around all tough, right? Beating their chest. They're heroes. There are heroes. How dare you respect them? I back the blue. You still watch. You're still watching right now. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for your fellow Americans. Stand up for your fellow human being. It's we the people against the government. We put them there to serve us. Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, I don't really know where we go from here. Is the federal lawsuit get these criminal charges dismissed, and they will be dismissed. Either they're dismissed by a judge, the state's attorney themselves, or by a jury of my peers. One way or another, it's going to get dismissed. I prefer a jury of my peers, so that way Sergeant Bryan Fahey can take the stand and be like, I plead the fifth, like a coward that he is. I plead the fifth because I don't want to incriminate myself. Oh man, this is insane. This is insane, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see some of the chat here. Wow, we have a lot of people in the chat. I haven't even seen. Left or right, leave politics behind. Right. I agree. They're thugs. I also agree. No pension for Cop Tua. He needs to lose his pension. Imagine doing this. Imagine you guys have been following along since the beginning, right? You guys have been following along since the very beginning in 2021. Imagine this incident with the pink shirt. This one right here. Imagine this man engaging in 3 different incidents of misconduct, constitutional rights violations, criminal actions, and getting $150,000 a year for the rest of his life. And I'm sure Sergeant Bryan Fahey's watching this saying, more than that, more than that. Doesn't matter how much it is, Fahey. Doesn't matter how much it is, how much his Fahey's salary is. It doesn't matter. Money doesn't buy happiness. And that man's insane. Plus insurance for life. Yeah, plus medical insurance for life. Right. You're right. Sorry, bro, that this situation has brought the not so nice side in you. I try to be cordial and respectful. I really do. I really do. And I know all the bootlickers and the sheep out there, the pro-police propagandists, they're like, no, you're an asshole, Sean. No, I try and be respectful. This is why I'm invited to district attorney's offices. This is why to give seminars. This is why I'm invited to universities, to high school classrooms, to give lectures. This is why I'm invited to ride-alongs, speak at, because I remain respectful. This is why in my phone right now, I have law enforcement officers' numbers who I consider friends of mine. I'm not anti-law enforcement. I'm anti-tyrant. I'm anti-this tyrant. Tyrants just like him. Because I don't worship the government. I don't worship politicians. I don't worship law enforcement because they're heroes. I tell my cop friends, you're no hero. You could be. But unless you show me, I don't think you are. Oh, we got some super chats here. Let me see here. I want to put this on the screen for you guys. This means his pension is in full swing. Yep. Thanks for the super chat. Super support from Aberdeen, Scotland. Fahey has retired. A very wealthy man thanks to taxpayers. It's disgusting. It makes me sick. Saving his pension. Mama Bear. The federal government cannot be trusted either. The FBI and DOJ are members of just us criminals. Of course. Doc's the tyrant. Where does he shop? I have no idea. Guess he's moving on to a new gig, professional sprinkler. Benefits include full dental and no accountability. Full court press. Retire, we force you to. Guarantee that's what happened. Yeah, they definitely, but he's still, guess what? If I did nothing wrong, I'd be like, go ahead and fire me then, and I'll file a lawsuit against you for wrongful termination. That's probably what happened. But either way, he's a coward. They probably were like, retire, we're going to fire you. He's like, okay, I'll retire because I'm a coward and a little bitch. Oh, I apologize for my language. This should be considered an admission of guilt. It should be. Thank you, Maury, for giving out 20 memberships. Thank you for all the members of the channel. You guys are the best. Until psychopaths like this pay out of pockets, property, and lives for their crimes, this will not change. Is he still going to be provided with a personal security detail? I don't know if he's going to still have a personal security detail. We got 8,300 of you in here. Please hit the like button and share this video. This guy needs to be exposed for the coward he is. Bye-bye, supervisor, not sergeant. This isn't a military. Right. I agree. That's another thing. Why do law enforcement officers use these military titles? For what? Oh, man, we need some real change in law enforcement. We really do. Hit the like button. Fahey P sitting down. Yo, you made him run. You made him run. Showed him for the punk he is. Yeah, Sean, way to go, brother. Love you, bro. Without you, there would be no us. His pension has to go. Oh, I'm going to try. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that pension goes away. Now let's get his gun rights. That too. Dude, they have red flag laws in Connecticut. I'm pretty sure. You know, they want to keep guns out of everybody's hand that are dangerous people, right? He's a dangerous person. Right there. Take the guns away from him. Be careful, Sean Fahey's an animal. He might hurt you for revenge. Watch your back. He's a coward. He is a coward. He didn't come out to face me without that gun in his hand. I told him the second time I met him, you wouldn't violate my rights and threaten me and assault me and do what you do without that gun and that badge. And he proved it when he went back inside of his residence and got a gun. And I'm a goddamn Connecticut State Trooper. He's a coward. And now he's running. He's running and retiring, as we all can see. He deserves nothing from taxpayers. $0. Go work as a security guard at Allied Universal. You'd fit in perfect. He would fit in perfectly. He needs to be charged. He committed a crime. He definitely did. Thank you guys for the super chats. Appreciate it. I just want to see if anybody else had anything to say. When you sue, don't settle. Ooh, I mean, it would have to be a large amount for me to settle, but I don't think I will be settling. And then we're going to give out turkeys in Groton. We're going to give back to the community because this isn't about money. I get paid on YouTube. Advertisements, the same way every other journalist does. Let's take a look. What do you see when you scroll down on this article? Advertisements. You just do this because you get paid. That's what the courts and prosecutors and these attorney generals tell me. Look at you. You're just doing this for pay, for clicks and views. Look at all these advertisements here on this official news report. Look at all of them. They get paid too. Journalists get paid. So do prosecutors. So does everybody else. So I don't want to hear it. So this isn't about the money. This is about making a statement. Maybe I'll sue. Maybe the lawsuit will be for $5 million. He traumatized my family. He violated me, spat in my face and in my mouth. Till this day, I can freaking feel it. It's disgusting. In any other situation, I would have defended myself. But because he had a gun, I couldn't. Let's see here. Keep crying, Sean. What? I'm not crying. He's probably crying, not me. 5 million, you're thinking too small. 10 million at least. Oof. You guys got to be my lawyers. 500 million? Sheesh. Yeah, please stop. Okay. As of today, Sergeant Fahey will never be said from my lips again. It is now Bryan, Unhinged Bryan Fahey. That's what his name is. Bryan Fahey. I'm going to call him Bryan. How about that? I'll call him Bryan. This is for all of us, right? And I'm going to give back to the community. I want to. You've seen it before in my lawsuits. I love it. I love to show what the power of a good deed, good morals, it's taxpayer money anyway. It's not coming out of, well, I plan on suing him in his personal capacity, so it might be his money. Yeah, haters in the comments. Of course, they're always haters. Don't worry about them, though. They're all right. They help the algorithm, you know? Does he still have the cop posted outside of his driveway? I have no idea. He probably does. We all know Fahey is watching this. I don't know that. Maybe. I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to have any third-party communication with him. There is an order of protection because he's a coward. So I want to be clear. Do not contact him on my behalf. I don't want to speak to him. I don't want to see him. Bryan is a coward. He is now Bryan. Little Bryan. I like that. Little Bryan. Call him Little Bryan. All right. Little Bryan Fahey. He does look little in this photo right here, doesn't he? Haters still pay the bills, keep engaging. That's true. I ordered my cop to a t-shirt. Oh, missed that one. Yeah, should I throw like a party or something? Like, look, I have this. I got this from the protest. I got this. Oh, it's inverted. Hold on. Let me see if I can change my camera so you guys can see. Somebody gave this to me at my protest, guys. Hold on. It's a Connecticut corrupticate license plate. What do you guys think? The contradiction state. Normally it says Constitution state down here. Constitution state. The contradiction state. Oh, it's kind of hard to get it all in frame. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Yeah. I love it. Got it here in my office. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Oh, you guys, I wasn't big enough. Oh, you guys got to see it again. Nope. You guys got to see it again. There you go. Nice and big. The contradiction state. There you go. Got this sitting right here. Thank you for the person who gave that to me. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Little Punk Bryan. That's another good one. Crying Bryan Fahey. Ooh, I like that one. Brian Munchkin Fahey. I don't know if I should throw a party. I mean, he's no longer a state police officer. Effective. He's got like, I don't know, 8 more hours of being a state police officer. And then he's a retired state police officer at that point. Let's see here. Corrupticate Little Bryan, the wacko, will face consequences, showing what a coward. They all conspired to protect him. And I kind of knew this was coming. Even Leroy Truth from Leroy Truth Investigations had heard from a source that he was retiring. But I didn't believe it. I thought he had guts. I thought he was going to fight this to the end. Pooper Trooper just got here. Give me the cliff notes. What's going on? For those of you who just got in, right here, as you can see, this way, right here, as you can see, Sergeant Bryan Fahey is now no longer Bryan, I should say. Excuse me. I don't know why. I've been saying Sergeant Fahey for so long. Bryan, you can read right here. This is the Cliff Notes version. The Cliff Notes version is State Police Sergeant retires like a coward. See, this is why I'm not mainstream media. My title would be State Police Sergeant retires like a criminal coward following video where he committed criminal actions against a journalist. That's what my title would be. Let's see here. Bye-bye, little guy. Yeah, bye-bye. Love what you do. Thank you so much. They probably gave him an ultimatum there. They probably did. They probably did. Smart move to save his pension. Are you afraid that he might come after you one day for real, for real? No, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of Sergeant Bryan Fahey. Has he put me in fear of my life? Yeah. This day he did. But I mean, you know, I try not to worry about evildoers and demons like him. You know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? That's not our time, Morris. He won't make that much money. Yeah, he's going to make 6 figures. They take I will show you. They calculate it right here. They take your 3 highest years, which would be this one, 212, this one, 232, and this one, 218. They take his 3 highest years right here. I'll zoom in so you guys can see all the money that little Bryan has been making right here. Now you can see it good. 212, 232, 218. They average that, and that's how much they average that, and there's some other calculation involved, but he'll get between 120 to 160, somewhere in that range. I did quick math. Lion Fahey, I know 100. How many hours he worked? I don't know. I did the math. He would have to work 12 hours every single day, and he was home at 3 o'clock. Fraud. It seems like fraud to me. Again, I don't make statements I don't know. I know he's an unhinged criminal lunatic. I know that. And a coward. I know that. I don't know if it's possible he worked 12 hours every single day for 5 years straight. It doesn't seem likely to me. If you live in Connecticut, you should be pissed right now. Yeah, if you live in the state of Corrupticate, you should be irate. You should be irate. This man is going to steal your money for the rest of his miserable life. He's going to steal your money for the rest of his miserable life. But it is good news. It's great news. It's great news. This man, little Bryan, will never be a police officer again. And if he is, I'll find out, and I will expose him, and I will go after his certification to be a law enforcement officer. Allied Universal is hiring. That's all I got to say. They're always hiring. And they, from what I've seen from Allied Universal, they would love a guy like this. They would love him. Don't stop auditing the corrupted state police. No, there's so much there. I got inside sources. I am not done with the corrupted state police. Their ticket scandal, writing fake tickets, overtime scandals. It's crazy. Let's see what this one says. I bet cops are big mad at little Bryan for being unhinged and putting a spotlight on all of them stealing tax dollars. I was thinking that the other day. They must all hate him, little Bryan. Little Bryan Fahey. They must hate him. He exposed their whole corrupt overtime operation. He's exposed it all. If you guys are a good accountant or something, help me out. Let's go through all the data together. I'm only one man, but we have 8,500 people watching. Hundreds of thousands of people are going to end up watching this video. If you guys hit that like button and share it on all of your social media and comment down below, we can come together. Accountants, forensic accountants, help me out. Let's expose these people. Oh, I will. I want to read something to you guys. Very important. Hold on. Somebody did some internet sleuthing on little Bryan Fahey and House Fahey. I can't show it to you because he has little Bryan's address, and I don't dox people, even an unhinged coward lunatic. Let's see here. So apparently, little Bryan Fahey, former Connecticut State Police officer, he bought you saw that nice house. It's an objectively nice house. He's got a nice in-ground pool, that long driveway, the huge property. He bought that for $115,000. But all the other houses around him, listen to me carefully now, this is important. He bought his property, the one with the in-ground pool, the huge property, the long driveway, nice house. I believe it's like a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom. He bought that in 2009 for $115,000. But the surrounding houses around little Bryan were sold for $250,000 plus. How did he get a 50% discount from the market rate? If all the other houses around him, which have, smaller driveways for sure, how did little Bryan Fahey get a house for $115,000 when all the other houses, and I want to say shout out to, I didn't find this, shout out to Matthew. I won't say his last name. Thank you, Matthew, for sending this to me. I know I didn't answer you yet. I've been super busy, but I definitely want to look into this some more. He bought his house for $115,000. 50% discount. Insane. Did he threaten somebody? Did he give somebody a favor? And then you know how there's a driveway that the driveway, his driveway, it splits into 2 different houses. I'm not going to say the numbers of the houses, but let's just say 1 and 2 at the end of that private driveway that does belong to him. They were bought at the same time. It's sketchy. I got to go look at the town records. There's something going on. I don't know if he bought it with a family member or whatever happened, but all I know is he got his house for $115,000 when all of the other houses were going for $250,000. And then he refinanced his property back in 2020. Apparently the overtime, the $80,000 in overtime wasn't enough for him. He needed to get some more money. Is it illegal to fly a drone over Fahey's home? I don't think so. I'm not going to do it. Prices doubled where he lives 4 years. He must have been forced into retiring. There's no way he would do it on his own. Whether he was forced to retire or he retired on his own accord, it's irrelevant. He's still a coward. Still makes him a little coward bitch. That's what he is. Violated me. Oh, still feel his nasty, disgusting spit in my mouth. Oh, Sean's mad because he's got a better home. No, I don't care. I don't care about material things, dude. I don't care. If he earned it, right? I don't take away from anybody. This is America. If you earned it, you earned it. But I don't think he did. I think it's all fraudulent. I don't see how he paid a half price for his property, which has a bigger lot than everybody else around him and they paid $250,000 plus, and he paid 115. Again, doesn't add up. How do you get $80,000 in overtime, but your salary is 110 and you have a desk job? It doesn't add up. Think logically. Just think logically. And now he's retired. Just think logically. That's all it has to be. He is America's most infamous cop. He is America's most infamous cop. Former. He's got about like 8 hours left, 7.5 hours left. His neighbors probably hate him too. Oh, they definitely hate him now if they didn't before. Who's the worst, Psycho Ryder or Bryan Fahey? Definitely the one that spit in my mouth and face. Fahey would be worse. Ryder did send masked men to my home, which was crazy. And just so we know, I'm not done with Ryder. There's a lot of I'm only one man. I can only do so much. But I'm not done. I am not done. Asset forfeiture, all that. I got to look into all of it. If I were you, I'd hire a tax auditor. Yeah, I'm going to go to Groton, and I'm going to go pull the property records, and I'm going to look at every little thing. I'm going to go through a fine-tooth comb of all you state police officers out there, you better make sure your overtime's legit, because I'm going to go through all of your punch in, punch out. I'm going to correspond it with the surveillance footage. And again, I'm not suicidal. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to look into everybody. They even look alike. They do look alike. Psycho Ryder and Little Bryan. His house is on Zillow with an estimate of $624,500. He bought it for $115,000 in 2009. Pretty good investment. I'll never quit. Somebody said, don't quit. I'll never quit. I will never give up. I will continue to expose tyranny and corruption as long as I have breath in my body. Period. And as long as you guys support me, because I can't do it without you guys. I can't do it without all these eyes on me. Look what they do to me when you guys are watching. Look at what they do. Look at what this psycho sergeant does to me when everybody's watching. Imagine what they'll do if nobody was watching. You need a team, Long Island Audit Network. Maybe I will start a network. We'll see. I want to write a book. There's a lot of things I want to do. I want to add it, First Amendment order, independent journalist, author, trainer of police and district attorneys. I got to add it to my resume. He committed a crime. Sean's house looks baller out. There's no trespassing signs on mine. Groton land records are online. Oh, they are? Are they? Let's see if we can find it. You want to look at Groton land records? Groton land. Oh, but I can't do it live here because I don't want to show his attorney here. Lady Jane. Attorney here. Maybe you should represent me sometime. Attorney here. Where are your attorney? Attorney here. This is the oldest trick of tuck and tail and book. I agree. You definitely have support, but be careful. I will be careful. I promise. Let's see here. Let's go down here. Fahey thinks he can. Does this affect his pension? Chances he gets charged in Connecticut. If little Bryan Fahey, got to reprogram. If little Bryan Fahey were to get convicted of a crime that involved him in acting in his official capacity as a state trooper, his pension could be revoked. His $150,000 pension he's going to receive every year for the rest of his life, taxpayer funded, he could lose that, and it would be completely over if he's convicted of a crime in his official duties. And he was in his official capacity. I'm a goddamn Connecticut state trooper. Oh my God, let's watch the video. Let's see this news report again. Hold on. This is crazy. He's going to retire. Leroy Truth. This is crazy. He's going to retire and keep his pension. I know. Oh, look, an ad. Look, an ad. I don't think you guys can see it. I don't think you guys can hear it, right? I'm a goddamn Connecticut state trooper. His house is public. I know. I understand that his address is public and anybody could find it. I get it 100%, but I'm not doxing him. Not going to happen. Is it illegal to dox somebody? No. But I don't want to. I'm not a low life, unhinged savage like him. I would never do that to anybody. I would never. That's why I blurred out his address. I would never dox anybody. He's going to retire and go work for another department. No, he will not. No, he will not. I will make sure of it. No, he will not. We're going to get his post certification taken away. He will not get that much money in retirement. That's not how it works. I'm telling you. Oh, why does nobody believe me? I did the math. It's between $120,000 a year and $160,000. Somewhere in there, he's going to get paid every year for the rest of his life. And after engaging in conduct, possibly overtime fraud against the Connecticut residents. What if he doxes you? If he doxes me, then it's full game. Yeah, of course. If he doxes me, then the world's going to know his address. Bye-bye, Fahey. Nah. All right, guys, we got 8,500 people watching. I'm going to get it going. I got more things to do. I'm possibly heading to Corrupticate soon. Well, now that he's not a state police officer, I will say I was told to stay away from his place of employment, little Bryan Fahey's place of employment. So now tomorrow he's officially not a state police officer, August 1st, 2025. So I can go back to the Connecticut State Police and continue my investigation. So it is what it is. Lawsuit is coming. Yes, lawsuit is coming. The criminal charges need to be dismissed first. Hopefully the state's attorney does it. If not, the judge. And if the judge is corrupt and doesn't do it, then a jury of my peers. Start a First Amendment auditing college. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But I feel like I would want to do it right. So it's got to be done right. I would want to do it officially right. There's too many scams out there. Double check him retiring. He's retired. You see it right here, reported by this local news, WFSB, Connecticut. State police sergeant retires following viral video showing confrontation with YouTuber. Independent journalist. They just hate it. These people hate to call me a journalist. They hate it. Even though objectively, I'm a journalist. Objectively, you might not like it. You might not like the kind of journalist I am. You might not like give me that word, but I mean, you got to use your brain, objective, be objective. Sean should hire security. No. Who says I don't have security already? It is awesome. Leroy Truth is awesome to see all these amazing patriots in this live. Yes, Leroy, definitely. And Leroy has supported me from day one, Full Court Press, Garden State Accountability, all these different activists and journalists have supported me. He will try and get a job as a bailiff right out of the tyrant. Yeah, right out of the tyrant handbook. He goes and commits crimes, federal, state crimes, violates his police conduct, the policies on conduct, excessive force, and he's going to retire. Oop, gone. He put this out there today. Imagine that, 24 hours, and he's like, oh, I'm retiring tomorrow. What a coward. What a coward. We stand with you, Sean. Thank you. Fahey spits and swallows. He's going to move and stay in hiding. I hope he does get out of Corrupticate. I hope he does. Sean took the spit so we could be safe. They told him to retire. You think so? Or do you think he just ran away of his own accord? Money for nothing, the chicks for free. Love the videos, bro. Thank you, Ninja. Retires with a fat pension. I know this psycho. Oh, psycho. So all I had to do is rob a bank and then retire. Leroy helped too. Don't wish him on any other state. Fahey should move. Little Bryan Fahey should move to North Korea. That's where he should go. He sold. His house was sold for $360 in 2007, then to him in 2009. Yes, look. This is it. Look, reaction vortex. His house, this guy, Sergeant Bryan Fahey, hit the like button, share this video. Oh, I got to make this shorter. We've been here for what, 54 minutes? No one's going to watch this long to see this. I'll have to do a different video on it. His house, yes, this is true. His house was sold for $360,000 in 2007, and then he bought it in 2009 for $115,000. Let that sink in. Sold for $360 in 2007. 2 years later, and listen, I am not an idiot. I understand that there was a housing market crash in 2018, but that much when all the other houses around him were selling for $250,000, that seems like a nice 360 to 250, right? That's the crash. But 115, he bought that huge driveway, in-ground pool, 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom house. This guy's as crooked as they come. He's as crooked as they come. 8,200, 8,300 people here. Hit the like button, share this on all of your social media. Please, Reddit, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, X, whatever you call it, Instagram. You can hear him say his address. I never heard it. He should be in prison. He should. All right, guys, I'm going to put this all together. Just let it sink in. His house sold for $360 in 2007, and he bought it in 2019 for $115. Who this guy bribe? Who this guy threaten? Who this guy, I don't know any of these things to be facts other than sketchiness, right? Again, I'm going to continue to investigate, but what I'm saying is that he has all this overtime, but yet he works a desk job. Suspicious. I mean, 9 to 5 is 9 to 5. I mean, I can understand staying over maybe an hour or two a day, but 12 hours every single day for 5 years, I doubt it. A housing market crash in 2008, sure, but to 115, it's too many. There's too much going on. What's the saying? When there's smoke, there's fire. There's too much smoke. There's too much smoke going on, and I really hope that the people out there that have been violated by this tyrant, and you know who I'm talking to, there's plenty of people. He's spat in other people's face. He has used excessive force against other people, violated their constitutional rights. I know this for a fact, but these people are terrified of him. And I hope the fact that he ran like a little bitch, tucked his tail, and left and retired from the Connecticut State Police gives these people strength and at least some vengeance. Cop Tua. Retire, that means anyone can spit in his face. Ooh, that's a good point. He is no longer, that's a good point. He is no longer a Connecticut State Police officer. He's just little Bryan now. So that means, according to the police officers in Groton, you could spit in his face and mouth. And I'm not calling for anybody to do it, and I'm not going to do it. But according to the sergeant of the Groton Police Department, you can now spit in his face and mouth, little Bryan Fahey, the non-law enforcement officer, and not get charged. Interesting. Good point. Good point. Something to note. Sketchy like everything he does. Exactly. Perhaps a small appreciation is in order, as Fahey not the first bad cop to retire this year. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to give you guys this breaking news. I appreciate you guys being here. 8,300 of you being in here and staying this long. Stop being bootlickers if you're a bootlicker. Stop being a sheep. Stop worshiping politicians. Stop worshiping police officers. The government, we the people, meant to serve we the people, us, okay? Get it right. They serve us. They are public servants who serve our needs, who serve our wants. That's the way it's supposed to be. Somehow we're worshiping these people. America's worshiping politicians. We're worshiping law enforcement. Back the blue. Stop. Wake up. Let's come together. Let's stay strong. For all my fellow patriots and freedom lovers out there, I love you. You are the best. I cannot do this without of you. Thank you so much. I'm going to celebrate tonight for sure. Sergeant Bryan Fahey, now little Bryan Fahey, is no longer a law enforcement officer, and there could be nothing better than that, other than he was fired and put in prison and held accountable in a federal civil rights lawsuit, which that's still coming. So stay tuned. Stay tuned to the channel. I still got to go back to Groton. Now I can go back to the state police. There's so much more coverage on this, on the overtime scandal, on this housing scandal that he, I'm going to go look into all of it. Not suicidal. Love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. As always, stay safe. God bless. Hit the like button on the way out. Long Island Audit. Peace.